All right, so we're here with Ricky Williams, aka Ricky Bobby, DJ, aka Ricky Fixed, aka how many aliases do you have, by the way?
All of them.
All
that
of
way
them.
I've got an alibi if I ever need something. I've got a ticket out.
A ticket out. We're doing another sidewalk talk without the sidewalk because we live in the north and it's freaking cold outside.
Yeah, we got snow.
That's
perfect.
A thing. That's
Welcome.
A thing. That's a thing.
If you don't have snow, I don't recommend it. If you do have snow, still don't recommend it. I don't know.
I'm with you there. So, as I kind of explained to Jerry at the beginning of the show last time, the whole point of the show is literally 100% just to kind of like bring value to like those younger kids who are thinking about doing the entrepreneurial thing. They probably don't even know what the definition of entrepreneur is, but just to let them know that it's okay to try to do new things, try something different. And you're one of the first people I actually thought of when I was starting to do this show, just because, like, I think for you it was more the personal branding side. Like, I don't know why, just when I think of a personal brand, like for some reason you and there's a handful of other locals around here that I think of.
That's cool.
And because everyone else is so professional about the way they do things, but when I think of a personal brand, I think of something that's different, something more, something you can relate to. It's something you can relate to.
Right.
And you're one of those ones that has always kind of gone out of their way to kind of make it seem like, whether it's social media, whether it's like you and I talking for the last half hour, no matter what it was, it's like you're talking to somebody that you could they're just your friend. It's not like it's not something that's so out of whack, if that makes sense.
That's, my entire life I've always been the shy or the dork, and then I started coming out of my shell and became the class clown and whatnot. And now with what I'm doing, I've lived, man. It's easier to be somebody's friend than to make enemies all over the place and have to worry about what you said to somebody that might have made them mad. And to be honest, I don't have much of a filter. I mean, I'm just as surprised at what I say as most people are. I mean, that's just me. If you don't like it, I get it, and I'm not going to please everyone. There's no way. You could be as nice as you want to, and somebody's still going to talk crap about you somewhere.
That much I definitely understand.
Yeah, and that's just the world. We don't teach that anymore. We don't teach actual code of ethics. We don't teach any of that. It's gone away. Just being courteous or having charisma or chivalry or just being nice, charismatic. It's just a term that, look that up, people, charismatic. I've always worked for somebody, and I usually am versed enough by the end of the job that I can do everything because I want to learn. That's my goal in life, is to never stop learning. If you look around my shop, it's a huge mess, and to be honest, a clean workspace is an empty mind. If you look at some of the stuff I've got going on in here, it's all, I was told with what I'm working on with the 62 Corvair by a good friend of mine that I am the Van Gogh of car audio, because whatever I do, I always put artwork to it. I always put passion into it. And I mean, you're the same way. I mean, when you do something, you do it 100%, you do it with full passion, do it with whole heart. It doesn't make sense not to. I mean, it's kind of a waste of time if you don't.
So I guess a question I would have is, I can't remember if I met you first through Andrea, your wife, or if I kind of got to know you on social media first. I don't know which one came first.
More than likely through my wife, just
and
because.
Then probably added you on Facebook because I noticed, because I worked with her for a while over at Coke. I think it was probably about 10 years ago when I met you.
Yep.
And I think it was social media, and then you came to one of my shows through a party. I think you were already DJing at that point, or you'd been DJing for a while.
Yeah, yep. I DJ'd for about 10 years professional, 15 amateur, total. So I just retired. I feel good about that.
There's no retirement in this.
Yeah, there's never retirement. I'm still asked every day if I can do something for somebody.
Eventually you'll break. Eventually you'll break. We all do, dude.
Literally sold all my gear, which is good. It feels good.
The last time you did that, I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, I bought new gear. Shut up.
There's no retiring from entrepreneurship. I don't think there is. Because the reason is because it's part of your nature. I really think it's part of your nature.
I'm ready to find something else to do that will tide my time and keep me occupied, because nowadays kids have Ritalin and whatnot. I have ADHD, like old school version, so we don't have medicines for that. Like,
can come over here and beat your ass.
My
once in a
dad's
while.
belt was my medicine. Yeah,
I knew you were going there.
my dad's belt was the medicine. So
I don't condone that, by the way.
beat your kids lightly. There's a difference between abuse and discipline. No, it's do what you want. You're all a grown people.
A grown people.
I don't know who you are. I can't see you. You might not even see this. I don't know. No.
I guess that was kind of the question I was thinking of, was, you know, when you were going, because social media, you were really active. Like when I first saw you on social media, you were really active. You didn't have a business page or anything. It was just your personal stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess the question I have is, did you have the conscious mind of a personal brand, or were you just on social media goofing off being yourself? Because like I said before, the person I meet in person is no different than what I expect when I see social media stuff. It's like, that's what I like about you. It's like, that's what I meant by the personal brand thing. I think you took it to the level where there's not as much blurred line between the two. And that's what I like about a person, the people that do the personal brand all the way. And I've always felt that you and I'll just say like Zach Gibson, I think is kind of the same way. And there's not very many people that do that. Like, everyone else gets really, they try to polish it up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I've always felt that you've always been like, and I just want to know if was it a conscious thought, or were you just literally just goofing off on social media?
I like to make people smile, make people laugh. We all know what it's like to be down in the dumps, whether you admit to it or not. We've all been depressed. We've all had some sort of anxiety. We've all had something like that. And stemming from something that I've overcome is humor. And I find humor in 99% of the situations. When I post on Facebook, I've got so much versed demographic of people that I have to kind of step on eggshells when I post something, so I'm not offending somebody, or and I wake up in the morning and I think of raw raunchy things that would make Satan blush, and and I just can't say all that stuff.
He DMs them to me sometimes. They're funny.
Yeah, I have to put a balance and a fine line between schmuck and a nice guy, and realistically, I could be one hell of a schmuck, or you can find me on a good day being one hell of a nice guy. Like literally, I usually try to pay it forward in some aspects or another. I'll buy coffee if I see a military person in uniform. I'll buy, just a random stranger, whatever. You'd see them in line at the shop, and you see that they're struggling or whatnot. That's just me wearing my heart on my sleeve, and I think we need more of that in the world. I think we would have less issues if we had more heart in the world, 100%. But
so let's talk a second about Rickety Fixed. That was like, how long did you start that? It was about a year or 2 years ago?
I did 1 year ago.
1 year ago, and then
Yep.
the question I have is what gave you because that's a tough thing to go forward with. When you go from entertainment to something so not practical is not the word, but so hands-on, which I know you well enough to know that's probably something you've done your whole life, is hands-on type stuff. But like, what gave you the courage to kind of just go full force into it? Because I just remember one day out of nowhere, you were asking people to help you with the logo for it, and I honestly, I don't know for sure if it was on purpose, but I felt like that was a tactic to get people to kind of understand what you were doing, the transition of what you were doing. Because by getting them to do that, I saw a lot of engagement happen through a lot of your different audience, and they really enjoyed the process of you doing that.
I enjoyed the process too. I was blown away that out of all of the people that actually, you can post something on Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram, and you might get 9, 10 likes, but this was way above 9 or 10, 15, 20 likes. I literally had phone calls and drawings and emails and back and forth, and it wasn't on purpose, honestly. I just wanted to do something for myself for once, because I've always worked for somebody else, and I had come to a disagreement with my previous employer to the point where I was just like, fine, I'll quit. The downfall is I've always been the guy that on top of my 40 hours per week, I still help others. So brake jobs or just slight mechanical work, or going over and helping them with small odds and ends and projects, that when I quit, my boss was like, you're not the kind of guy that's just going to quit. What are you going to do? I said, well, I'm done, dude. I'm just going to go home. Literally, I went to do a quote for a gal who it was just a word of mouth referral. Went over to her house, and she was like, oh, thank God you're here. I was like, for quoting a backsplash? That's insane. Okay, well, I'm glad to be here. Welcome. And I walk in the door, and she's just frantic, little old lady. Just my water heater started leaking, and I got water all over the place, and I don't know what to do. I don't know who to call. And I was like, yeah, just calm down. Let me take a look at the situation. Walked into where the water was. Yeah, there was a puddle. I was like, yeah, this isn't a big deal. I literally told her what I was going to do. Told her I had to shut the water off to the house. I went and got all the parts and pieces, went back to the house, fixed it, and she was like, what do I owe you? And I honestly had no idea what to charge because I wasn't employed for myself. And I was like, I don't know, a couple $100. She was like, oh, you got the backsplash quote. I don't even want you to quote it. Just do it. Perfect. And she was like, is $65 an hour good enough? And I was like, yeah, that's, I made $18 an hour at my last job. So 65 is, oh yeah, thank you, But I took care of her, and when I sat in my car at the end of that project, I said to myself, I think I can do this. I honestly do this all the time for people. The downside is I usually never charged people because it was always me going over and just doing tasks for others, always take care of others. That's what I was taught as a kid. You don't know their situation, you don't know their struggle. I don't know your struggle, I don't know your situation. Just like you don't know my situation, but Rickety Fixed is actually no longer a handyman service just because I actually gave out so much, I couldn't keep afloat for myself, so I actually feel stronger to work for somebody else currently until I find the projects or pieces that in my life fit a profitable scenario. And right now, I always felt guilty. I always felt guilty when I charged for DJing, but I was always told, "You're one of the best. You should charge more. You're one of the greatest. You should do more. You should." And I was always, "No, I can't sleep at night charging what I charge." And I bet you can feel the same way when you do bars or this or that.
The hardest part for me is like you did more private parties, which is a little different. I mean, because the nice thing about private parties.
Weddings. I never did bars. I only did weddings.
Yeah, you did I remember you did that one bar gig for me one year, New Year's Eve, and you're like, I don't want to do another bar gig ever again.
Yep.
You flat out said it because I think that's the difference between you and you. It's like I prefer the bar gigs. I like that shoot out the fly or hip type stuff. Weddings, I actually do enjoy doing weddings.
Weddings for me are valuable because I've been to so many where the DJ really sucked, and when I was a kid, I was like,
so you knew the
I
value
could
you were
do way
bringing.
better than that.
You knew the value you were bringing to the table the moment you
Oh,
saw
for
the
sure.
first wedding.
Yep.
Yeah. The one thing that made me nervous about weddings is like, now granted we're usually the reception, so everyone's more laid back, but it's still like you don't want something that like your computer glitches on you or something stupid like that happens.
You have no idea how many times. I mean,
it
hate
stresses
electronics.
me out. It stresses me the heck out.
Here's a story for you. I was in Lusk, Wyoming, and I was working for another DJ firm at the time, and he had sent me out with some gear.
Oh, it was Nick, right?
Yep.
You can talk about it. It's fine.
Okay, perfect.
Doesn't bother me at all. Go 45.
Yeah,
Go 45
45.
Entertainment. He's got some amazing DJs actually that work for him. I love most of those guys.
Yep. So I worked for him for a few years, and we, really hit it off. I never had to be trained. I honestly have been such a geek with electronics my entire life. He went with me one shot to New Underwood and was like, "I don't need you. You're on your own, dude. You're good.
You know
You're
what you're
perfect.
doing.
Yeah, you plugged it all in. You ran the whole night. You're good." So I was in Lusk, Wyoming, and there is no cell service. There is
I hate that part.
no internet. You're in the middle of nowhere. I mean, if you could picture the idea of middle of nowhere, you're in the middle of nowhere of that. I mean,
go to the middle of nowhere and drive
seriously,
deeper.
I'm pretty sure that the sheep were scared to go to Lusk. I don't know. But I'm there DJing, and they're on the beautiful golf course, which they have. It's made out of hay bales and whatever.
If you're in the middle of nowhere,
They have irrigation. It's not like a sprinkler system. It's an actual walking. No, I'm just kidding. But it had rained, and they had their reception tent set up on the property, and I had my table outside of the dance floor, and it was right on the cusp of that table or that tent, so that I was not in the way because they were trying to maximize their seating. Long story short, the wind came up and there was water sitting on the tent itself. Wind came up and blew all that water off, and I literally lost my entire computer. And luckily, I had all my stuff in a case The one that I sold you, it was all watertight.
The big gator
rolling
case,
one,
the big one.
And so it's watertight. It didn't. Nothing happened in that, but my computer just
Gone.
nothing. So I literally, with my cell phone and the help of hotspot with some other stuff that I had at the time, I literally had to skip ads on YouTube, get them prepped, ready to go, and push play while I was doing another task at the same time, trying to monitor 2 or 3 things so that I could get the song for the bride and the groom, get the song for the bride and the dad, get all the songs that they wanted, like the Cupid Shuffle and all that, which I have some of that on a hard drive that I can access with my phone, but I didn't have everything. And I was trying to work off of little cell phone service, little hotspots that I had, and I was just trying to do with my iPad and my cell phone and just all over the board. And at the end of the night, I had to go up and I went and talked to the bride and groom. I was like, I am so sorry if this was horrible. I lost my computer very beginning of the show. And they're like, we didn't even notice. That's crazy. You're doing great. And so that's like, you talk about frustrations. That was one of my biggest frustrations, was not knowing how to or what to, but I felt in my mind that I can do this. This isn't an issue. This isn't, all this is just a barricade I've got to get around. It's not like I'm not dead in the water. I'm not done. I'm not stuck. And that's how life should be looked at. You're not dead in the water. You're not stuck. You got something in front of you. There's always ways around that, something in front of you. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, it's always going to teach you how to overcome. So what I learned from that is always take a second computer, second power cord, second hard drive.
Especially for those outdoor
just
gigs.
in case.
Especially for those outdoor
100%.
gigs.
Yeah, I even loaded up. I even went to the pawn shop and bought like 7 or 8 computers just in case.
I wish I had the money for that. I have to get a new computer.
You don't have to buy them at the pawn
You
shop.
know the funniest thing about that when you say that story, it's like that's the exact scenario. Not exactly the scenario, but I had almost the exact same scenario happen with a wedding I had in Hill City at the Shoot Rooster. We were doing it that upstairs at the Shoot Rooster. I don't know if you've ever done one up there or not, but it's awesome place. Love the amazing food. I shouldn't be they're not a sponsor, but check them out. But
Speaking of sponsors, this advertisement is brought to you by Miller Lite. It's a fine Pilsner beer. Brought to you in part by 1985.
Dude, no joke. When I was talking to Jerry just last week, I was trying to say that that IPA we were drinking. And I said Grey Goose instead. Like, no, I already ruined the sponsorship. I've already lost that.
Well, it's Grey Goose, but it's not. It's darker and it tastes a whole lot more bitter in a bottle.
And it's not vodka.
And it's definitely not vodka.
But literally, I had almost that exact same scenario happen the week before the wedding. I literally spilled a beer on my computer.
That's your fault.
No, it wasn't my beer. It was not my beer. It was a customer's beer. But it got spilled. Like literally, like they set it down, and I didn't realize they set it down. And you know, you get it. It just happened.
Oh yeah.
Killed the computer.
Yep.
So I had to go get a brand new one. I didn't test it out first. I just transferred all the files, didn't test it out. I couldn't. The audio jack wouldn't work.
Oh man, that would suck.
Oh man, everything was perfect right there in front of me. I couldn't do it. We tried to mic it. That doesn't work. Don't try to mic a computer speaker. It's crap. So I did like literally when you were talking about that, it's like computer's out. Use your phone. And you said it as I was thinking that, because that's exactly what I ended up having to do, and just do it. It's exactly almost verbatim what you had to do. And it's like I think that's the difference between someone who's really entrepreneurial in mindset, instead of just like
you have to get the
I
job
want to
done.
be. You just all you think about is like there's people that would have just walked away.
Oh, for sure.
There's many people.
They would have just crawled into their little shell and was like, "Oh, screw this. This is dumb."
And don't get me wrong. When I was a kid, I started at 16 doing this, and there was a moment that first year where I actually did do that. Did end up doing the walk of shame.
Right.
I literally I was missing one chord. We probably could have found it. Like it wouldn't have been much to find it. We probably could have found it, but I just caved. Like I just under the pressure, I just lost it. I remember that back when I was like 16 years old.
But see, you learned from that.
And literally when I walked away, I'm like, I didn't feel bad when I walked away that day. I felt kind of bad, but I was like, thank God the pressure's gone. But that following month, I was just miserable.
The guilt?
It wasn't even guilt. It was just more like I failed.
Right.
What the heck was I? What the heck? I failed. We could have found a solution. Why didn't I find a solution? I could have did this. I could have did that. I could have used a guitar chord.
Right.
Like it was I was missing the 2 chords that went from the board down to the power supply. which you don't know what I'm talking about. They don't have a clue.
These guys don't know what we're talking about. The gizmos and the whatchamacallits that make the
But it would have been an easy fix. I mean, I'm pretty sure I had a couple extra guitar chords. You could have used guitar chords to do that part.
Right.
Because they didn't need power. The chords that needed power, like with the speaker, I had those. And I just didn't take the time to figure it out. And I remember really regretting that. I remember really regretting that. I regretted it because it was during the rally. It was at a campground. I was just a filler thing before the band started.
Is that out here at this?
It was at Bearview Creek Campground.
Oh, okay.
Bearview Creek Campground. It was so long ago, and I just remember I caved. I literally just I remember and I remember thinking that day, I was like, I'm never gonna do that again, because I felt bad, not for me, I felt bad for my client. Like and at that point I didn't think of them as clients. At that point I'm just thinking like I felt bad for the people that I let down.
Right.
But I remember thinking if there's any way from this point forward that I can go without letting that person down, the person that trusted me to come do this thing, I'm never doing it again.
Right.
And that's just something you learn and I learned it the hard way. You seem just naturally you're like, no, I'm gonna make sure I get the job done, but
100% satisfaction or your full money back, right?
well, they got them.
30 minutes or it's free. I don't know what the slogan is.
But it's like it's just one of those things. It's a character thing. I think it comes down to character at that point.
It's who you are. It's how you build yourself. It's how you carry your self-esteem. You can feel like you are nothing, but to somebody else you are everything, and you have to value that as we walk through life, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So if you're not who you want to be and you're not happy with who you want to be, change that. Nobody can change that but yourself. And so if you like to do hikes in the snow, I'm not going to be with you, but do it.
Snow, remember, we don't recommend snow. Snow is not recommended on this show.
That is correct. The white stuff is only in Charlie Sheen Snows, not this show. But yeah, man, it's who you are, how you bring yourself to be, and carry yourself.
Oh, we're good. We have about 10 minutes left.
We got 10 minutes, folks.
10 minutes.
We haven't bored you to sleep yet. You wait. We'll get you there.
Second question. I didn't really have any questions planned. I'm just going with the flow here.
Yeah.
But like, if you were going to look at, say your daughter said she just wanted to drop out of college and start something completely erratic out of the blue, but you knew it was doable. How would you go about supporting? I can't think of an example of something specific. I'm just going off the cuff of my thing here. But would you one say go back to college, or would you two say how are we going to make this work? That's a tough one. I'm a dad. I understand how tough that one is.
It's not tough. It's not tough at all. I would have the conversation with her that, listen, in today's world, a woman has to have something to show other than, just a bubbly personality. It's now down to a piece of paper, and that piece of paper might cost money, which I'm paying for. I try to help, and I support her. But honestly, if she came to me and said, I do not want to do this anymore, I've got an idea and I think I can make it work, the right thing to do as a parent is to say, is this what you really want to do? Have you thought about this? Have you weighed your pros, your cons?
Smart.
Have a smart talk with her to see, if
make sure it's not just off the whim. College was
hopefully
hard.
This isn't just a impulse idea. I've had many of those, and I've done well with some, and I've failed at others. But it's never failing if you go out and you actually try. You can try 1,000 times. It's the one time you don't try that you failed. But I would talk to her and kind of reason with her and say,
okay, so say that she's thought it through verbatim. She definitely wants to do this thing.
I'd support her.
100%.
100%. You have to.
That's exactly the same way.
Same with you. If you came to me and said, hey, I'm going to get out of the DJ business, you did it for me. You've been supporting me this whole time. I don't want you to, but I see what you're saying and I understand. But if you ever, and I want to try to reel you back in, you big fish, and I'm like, no.
I said that to you once. I might have said it before when we started taping, not gonna lie.
But you have to support those around you. If you don't support them, they're not going to have the courage, the ability, the wherewithal, that's all us. That's where that heart comes into play, man. If you don't carry somebody
no matter
and help
what,
them.
My thought is, no matter whether it's college or blood and sweat or just flat out willing to eat shit for 4 or 5 years, no matter what you choose to do, you're gonna end up having that battle.
You have to have.
It's one or the other. Either you're doing it through college or you're doing it by literally just eating shit, trying to freaking make something work. It's one or the other. Like you don't just come into this, like the DJ business. I see so many kids get into this business and quit after a year. It's like you haven't had time to even get a reputation.
Yeah, you're not smart enough to quit. Stop that. You need to get in there. You need to get your pants wet. You need to figure out how
I hate that part. I hate that so many people start something
and don't finish it.
And they just don't even know if they could do it yet. It's like they've for me it was easy because I had no plan B. I don't know if you know this. I had zero plan B. Since I was 5 years old, music was it. I literally, my biggest dream, no joke, when I was 5 years old, my biggest dream was like, I hope someday I'm big enough to play on the Elk Creek stage. That didn't take long.
I feel bad for you, buddy.
No, but literally, the dream changes over time.
But
I mean, like,
okay.
literally, I remember thinking that.
Yeah, 5 years old, I could see that. That'd be a big stage.
Even when I got to 16, I was like, I just don't know if I'm able to play it. 'Cause believe it or not, I wasn't a natural born singer. I couldn't sing with a shit when I was a kid.
I still can't. I could put a tune in a bucket and I probably couldn't carry it.
I like that. I've heard that one before.
Dad joke.
It doesn't go away. He's got dad jokes by his toilet, by the way. He's got a whole book of them. I just gave away your secret. I'm sorry.
You've compromised me.
But like, literally,
don't reveal my Spider-Man outfit. Wait, that's you.
But I just remember that when I was a kid.
Bruce Wayne?
I couldn't sing. My grandmother flat out told me that if she didn't know I could hear. She was talking to my dad actually. She flat out looked at my dad and said, like, if that boy wants a career in music, you better get him to pick up an instrument because he's never going to be a singer. She flat out said that to me. I remember that. Not to me. She said it to my dad. Didn't know I was like. She said it out loud. It wasn't like she was trying to be mean to me.
She just didn't want you to get the heartbreak or the booze or the bad rapport.
That's what I was. That's why I asked her that question. I was like, would you be worried about her hitting that hard point?
Not at all. You have to have experience. If you don't have experience, you're not going to have any kind of reward at the end of the day. And that's a fact.
Definitely. Make sure we're not getting too close. Because this thing cuts me off.
Turn it over. Turn it off.
Oh, we're good. We got.
Turn it off. Turn it back on.
5 minutes. So we got.
Pull the cord and restart it.
5 minute.
Alma, check your battery.
5 minute closer. We got plenty of time. That's 5 minutes. Is a lot of time, actually. I try. It cuts me off at 33 minutes. I figured that's a good time to end a show. Like that's a
Thanks,
long show.
YouTube.
No, it's not. It's the phone.
Thanks, PhoneTube.
Thanks, Droid.
Brought to you in part by Android. If you're not running a Google, you're not running it all.
Droid versus Apple.
Droid.
Yes.
100%.
See, this is what
I love Apple. I have iPads. I have an iPad in my dash of my 300. I have Apple products, but when it comes to my phone,
Apple's not going to be a sponsor of this show.
What the hell are you talking about? Damn it, Bobby. That was the whole model of this.
No, I think the thing for me is I want the people that watch this to understand that there's nothing that you can't try. Whether you choose to make a career out of it is up to you. Like whether you want to, because you got to get to a point of not necessarily mastery. If you want to, like you can make a decent living at a certain level, but mastery, if you want to, you have to take the time to actually get to the point where you. Like, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say here, but you got to get to a point where you get past that uncomfort zone.
Correct.
If you want to do something bad enough, you got to get past the discomforts and then decide, do I want to make a career of it?
99% of your goals will come when you feel like you're going to fail the hardest, and that usually that next opportunity is when it's like, that's it. Here's some advice. I'm almost 40 years old, and I have not much to show for, honestly. I don't have a new truck. I don't have a new car. I don't have a supermodel. I don't have any of that kind of stuff.
You have a supermodel. I know Andrea.
I have a very cool wife. Yes,
she's very cool.
She's very beautiful.
She's amazing. She's amazing to work with.
She's real. She's just like me. You can walk up to her and she'll talk to you like your best friends. That's why we get along so well. And then I have a big shop that I can go hide in. So whenever I'm in trouble,
that's success in my book. I'm sorry, but I'll take one of these shops not to do anything, and I just freaking do it just to hang out and drink beer with you. I'll be around more often.
Come on out. You know where I'm at. But my advice is, I never went to college. I'm only skilled so far. Fake it till you make it. I've got a jack of all trades mentality where I can pick something up, take it apart, put it back together, usually better than when I took it apart, which is weird. But that's just slowing down, being observant, taking time, having patience. And I didn't have any of that when I was younger. I promise you, I had the shortest fuse. I had the, hurry up and get it done mentality. I just wanted to get it out of the way and get it over with. And that was on everything in life. And having a kid really slowed that down, put life into perspective, and you had to learn. You can't just always hustle. You have to watch them painstakingly for yourself, learn how to tie their shoe. Just a simple task you and I do in 30 seconds en route takes them 5 or 6 minutes to get their shoe done or get their zipper on their jacket, and you're finally just like, get over here, you know, it's snowing outside, let's go. No, but you gotta, it's slowing down, looking at things from outside perspective, not just the one blinded horse perspective. You gotta look at it and go, that makes sense. And look at it from another angle. That makes sense. Look at it from another angle. Take all those angles and make your approach, and then fly in for the landing, if you want to call it that.
I love that. I love that. That's exactly how people should think of it. Like, and especially if you're doing like whatever you're like, if you're gonna do an entrepreneurial thing, you pick it, make that your baby. Take it patiently, just like that.
Yeah.
Take the tying the shoes.
Teach it how to tie its shoes. Teach it how to zip its jacket. Teach it how to
and
put its hat on.
understand. Here's the part that I hate. And you
Never teach it algebra. No, don't do that. That's bad.
Don't go Common Core either.
Don't ever teach it math. Let's just do it that way.
Just skip math completely.
No taxes.
As soon as you figure,
that's bad.
As soon as you figure it out, they go to calculus. Anyways, but like, just take it that 1 second at a time. There's just nothing wrong with that. Like, and the people always. And this is one thing I hate about young DJs. And this is one thing. The first thing I told this young kid that's working for me now. The first thing I told him, it's like, don't portray yourself as knowing it all. Literally, just tell them you're on the journey of figuring it all out. And that's the best way to freaking start anything, because it's authentic.
That might be my next adventure, is maybe pairing up with people like you and your DJs and being a consultant and showing them what I did and how I did it, and showing them, you know, you're
the greatest thing about it. The greatest thing about entertainment is there's no wrong way to do it.
Oh, there is.
No, you just don't get booked.
Right. Yeah, you stop getting booked.
Your audience gets.
You don't make any phone calls.
Your audience gets really small, but there's no wrong way.
You have to try it. You honestly just got to.
If you want to do it, you have to at least get out there and do it.
Get out there and do it.
I want everyone to become my competition.
Like Nike, just do it. Is that? You got time. Stop.
We got
at the
1
damn
minute.
Clock.
1 minute before it cuts us off. Bing. So 1 minute, and it's a 1 minute something.
Summary.
Dad joke. Go. We just go in reverse. I think I missed my cue. Anyways, Ricky Williams, everybody. Dude, if you don't have him on social media, you gotta find him anyway. Cause he's
thanks for stopping by, huh?
Welcome to his shop.
Thanks, Harley, for coming out.
No, dude, thanks for doing this. Honestly, I think that like your perspective is one of the most valuable ones I have around this area. I really do think that. I really believe that.
Appreciate
I believe that a lot. I believe that since the day I met you. But anyways, good thing I'm doing a recorded outro. I'm pretty sure we got cut off. Pretty quick here.
Not yet. Maybe. It's still beeping.
You know, it's 33.
33 minutes. Dad, you're so worried about time. Slow down. Look at it 1 minute at a time.
1, 2, 3, go.
Take your perspective and take your time.
Perspective and time, and be patient, which I'm not. Now
So just rephrase that.
Let's go to dad talk. We're just gonna call it dad talk now.
Perfect.
So it's not even part of the show. We'll just make this a separate thing for my own sake.
So when she told me she wanted to go to college, I was very, very proud because of the
2
fact
years
that
left too, so we got plenty of time.
we got time. So when she told me she wanted to go to college, I was actually very proud because out of my family, she'd be the first one on my side to go and attend and graduate college, and she's smart enough, she won't have an issue with any of that. My thing as a dad is I started when I was her age. I had a kid before I was 20 years old. I've always
Me too.
worked.
I get that. I completely get that part. That's a hard part. That's the hardest thing.
I've worked since I was 12 years old. I wanted a pair of Retro 6s by Air Jordan back when I was 12 years old. That'll date me if anybody knows any Air Jordan history.
I know none.
They were a $109 pair of shoes. My mom looked at me dead in the eye and said, if you want that kind of shit, you're going to get a job. And excuse my language, that was my mom. She was very harsh, very strict. My dad was way worse. She didn't want to hear what he said about it. So I took that to heart. I wanted those shoes. I went and got a job at the Star Herald. I lived in Mitchell, Nebraska at the time. So I went to Scottsbluff, Nebraska and put an application in at the Star Herald, which was a paper route. And that's probably where my affliction for snow comes in, where I hate it so much because I had to walk all over a 2.2 mile radius town chucking papers at people's doors early in the morning. So I did that at age 12, and then after work, or after school, I went and cleaned tables at my local mom and pop restaurant, and then after that, they closed at about 9. I'd go spend a couple hours filling his coolers at the local bar. Same owner, same guy. He just had a small cafe called Papa's Cafe, and then he had a small tavern. And I went and I've always worked, literally. That's all I know. And when she said she wanted to go to college, my mind was, you should go to another state, you should go far away and experience life. Because I know one thing that I've done well is taught you importance of character, being what you want to do, but having moral values. So you're not gonna, she's not the one that's gonna go out and cause havoc and be reckless, which I wasn't either. I tried to live civil and be good, but I was also deathly afraid of my parents because of how strict they were. If I came home drunk, I guarantee you I wouldn't be living at home. But that's the difference between that era and this era, is that you can't do anything wrong now. Back then, you did 99% of your life wrong. I mean, you mowed the yard wrong, you got in trouble. You pulled the weeds wrong, you were in trouble.
Part of me feels like that's how it should be. The reason why is because it teaches you humility. Like
it teaches you respect as well.
Respect, and they go hand in hand, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
You can't be a cocky shit and have respect, let's be honest.
At all.
It doesn't work that way. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I get misconstrued as cocky all the time.
That's not cocky, that's actually confidence. There's a difference between cocky and confidence as well.
Yeah, but confidence to an insecure person just looks like cocky.
That's to them, yes. To others, you're shy to me. I think you're shy.
I am shy, actually. People don't believe that, though.
I'm timid until you get to know me.
You know, the thing for me that's funny, and this just came up not that long ago. There's a friend of mine, my new assistant, her name's Kat. She's been working with me for a little while longer. She says, like, I'm the most talkative, whatever person in the world. I went to her, she cuts hair for a living. So I went to her salon, she was going to give me a haircut, offered it for free. I wasn't going to turn it down, let's be honest. I don't cut my hair but once every 6 months. She said it's like, no, you need a haircut. I was like, no, I'm going to wait. I got 3 months left. She said, no, you're not. You got to get it done now. So like, cool, I'll show up. Showed up, and like, everyone that worked with her said, he seems kind of quiet. It's like, I know, it's weird. I don't get it. It's like, I was out of my element.
Yeah, you weren't in your comfort zone, for sure.
In a bar or an atmosphere like this, where it's just like, someone I know really well or something like that, I am. I'm actually the shyest guy you'll ever meet. I don't know what to say. I'm quiet. Like, it's weird.
It's not that you're timid or shy, it's that you understand the idea that if you don't have to talk, you don't need to. If you're out of your element and you don't know what to say,
if you don't have value to bring in what you say,
you don't talk.
Like for me, like sometimes the value is just sarcasm. It's comedy. Don't get me wrong. I think you're the same way.
I'm the exact same way. If I don't know you and I don't understand what I read people very well, and if I can't read you,
that's what makes you a good entertainer, by the way. That's exactly what makes you a good entertainer.
I'm going to hold off on any kind of sarcasm. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to be as professional as possible, and you'll get my subtle jokes. I'll tell you I'm the king of subtle jokes. I like inside jokes.
100%. Dude, you know what's funny to me is I found this out. Like I used to avoid the inside jokes on stage. I do them more and more now because it gets people's curiosity going.
Oh, for sure.
Like, okay, that was a joke for sure, but what the frick was he talking about? And then all of a sudden they're like trying to figure out, and all of a sudden like for some reason it's stick in their mind more. I figured that out. That's the bar gig thing, not a wedding gig thing, but I'm sure it'll work in a wedding too.
It's the same on Facebook. Like I can post every single day. I can post 100% comedy, which I do. None of my posts are negative. So I'll post 100% comedy.
Some of mine get negative.
For 30 years, I've been hilarious, you know, and my friends are always like, you should be a stand-up comic. And I'm like, I'm too lazy. I just want to sit down. But I would post on Facebook, and you would not believe the amount of people that sometimes take you serious with your banter on Facebook.
That happened to me today, actually. That literally happened to me today.
It's insane to me.
Like, don't make a mask joke right now.
Yeah, don't joke around with COVID. Don't joke around with masks.
Don't
joke around with multi-genders or Black Lives Matter. I mean, nothing's a joke anymore. And everything has humor in it.
That's
you
the
have
sorry
to pull
thing
that
about
out.
it. Did I tell you that the city councilman called out one of my shows?
I saw that once, yeah.
Holy crap.
That kind of puts a proud moment in your heart, though.
I was kind of proud. I'm not gonna lie.
Might have been bad, but there's no such thing as bad publicity.
I posted a response to her, and I literally said, to the city council, I know her personally, she's a friend. By the way, she is a friend. I love her to death, don't get me wrong. And I'm glad that she spoke her mind. I'm gonna say that 100%, even though I disagree with her 100%. But
it's okay to disagree. That's why we have.
I'm not gonna say her name because I don't want that to be a thing. If you know, you know.
I know.
But literally, my response flat out says like, I'm an entertainer. My job is an entertainer. She was upset with my choice to at one of my shows sing "Down with the Sickness" with a Corona beer in my hand. I thought it was funny.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
That's not too soon.
Thank you so much. But she didn't find the humor in it, and she made a statement during one of the city council meetings, and I think she thought it was funny. She probably did think it was funny, but she just used that
trying
as a point,
to use it as a
point
valid
for whatever discussion point. And my response was like, the job of an entertainer is during times of tension to try to relieve the tension. That's the job of an entertainer.
100%.
That's our mission. That's flat out our mission. Is we want to bring. We're escapism. That's what we do. Our job is to try to take people away from their everyday, to give them something. That's why I was really upset when everything started.
They went to your show to get out of the house, to get away from the kids, to get away from the work, to get away from their mundane, whatever they might have been doing.
To get away from the freaking news.
And that's what we need to do, is we need to turn the news off for a couple days and just let it weed itself out. That's 100% my philosophy. Well, so we've been dealing with this for 9 months. We don't have a cure, we don't have a vaccine, we don't have anything. I can guarantee you it's not going to go away. If it's been here this long,
it's going to be a lifetime.
Here's the downfall: is none of us are not stubborn enough to just stay home for a month. Canada isn't reporting half as much as we are. We have over 200,000 reported deaths. Okay, fine. We're at an all-time high, but we're also recording a lot too. We're also testing a lot more than any other country. Yeah, so your numbers are going to be high.
It's because we're so politically motivated in a lot of ways, which is a great thing.
If it's not going to go away, don't be afraid of it. Literally, my risk of being here was 100% worse driving from my work to here during rush hour traffic than catching corona and dying of corona. Now, I'm not going to discredit the idea of the sickness. No, it is a sickness. It is a weakness. It is a weakening sickness.
If you get ill and you're one of those people, some people it doesn't affect very much at all, and there's other people it freaking flat out floors.
Correct,
and if you're one of those people, yes, it sucks so bad. It's really terrible. I know at least a handful of my family has gotten it. Luckily, they're the type that literally it's literally like they feel weak for 3 days and then they freaking spend the next 2 weeks just home.
Sitting at home watching
TV. But other people,
this advertisement brought to you in part by Netflix. If you haven't seen, no, just kidding.
Not by Corona beer though, because we drink Miller Lite here.
But I'm saying that it's never going to go away. So we have to adapt and overcome. And it's not like we're just having this for this year.
And the worst part,
just like the swine flu. It's still carrying after. How long ago was that? 100 years now? A swine flu came, H1N1. We're not masking for that, and it's still taking lives. I know it's not as gradual or as prominent in the 9 months with swine flu, but if everybody got swine flu all at once, I guarantee you the numbers would be higher, especially if people were testing. I can count millions of times.
There's probably more cases of someone told me the number of flu cases is down this year, which surprises me.
That's because they're getting more money for COVID. You put down COVID on the checkbox, you're going to get money for it. I can tell you a handful of times where I was sick and still went to work because that's what we do. That's how we were back. And I'm not even old.
A year ago.
2019. Jesus. That feels like 5 years ago already.
It does right now, doesn't it?
That's only 9 months.
Oh God, that's terrible.
But the amount of times that you might have a cold or an allergy or something, and you get up and you persevere, you still go to work, you still overcome all that stuff, you know.
And the truth is, maybe the flu seasons were worse because of that, because of this, that, and other. But people didn't,
because we spread it.
But the reality is, I have a feeling that the COVID thing's going to be the same as the flu. It's going to mutate
100%.
Every year. It's going to mutate every year.
It's already mutating. Look at when we first got it. Look at the symptoms. Where they're like 8. Now look at the symptoms. There's a whole page. You might have the shits. You might be nauseous. You might. Holy crap! This sounds like a cheap Viagra commercial.
You might find your ex attractive. You might.
I did.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
That might have been the corona, or way too many coronas.
Lack of taste. Didn't they call it lack of taste? Is that a thing?
That was a thing. As a matter of fact. No. But we're hiding behind something that we're not going to be able to hide behind because it's going to find us regardless of where we're at. And you can't live at home the whole time.
And the hard part is you can't say much about it. Like, I'm sure we're gonna get when I post this part, someone's gonna say something. It's like, dude, we don't mean to hate on people that are scared.
We are not hating. And if
there were germaphobes long before COVID was around. We used to make fun of them. Everyone made fun of them. Now everyone is one.
I still make fun of them.
I still make fun of them too, but
I still
love you guys, by the way.
I still eat off of the dirty workspaces. I make a ham sandwich right here.
You got wipes right there. Don't come robbing. Those aren't sanitizing wipes. Those are like the degreasing ones, aren't they?
These are the degreasing. This advertisement brought to you by Tub of Towels. Clean your hands effectively with Tub of Towels. Brought to you in part by 90 wipes. That is 10 more than 80.
Made in America. I see the American flag on it.
Where?
Turn down.
Made in America. Please recycle. Environment friendly. I don't think anybody's environment friendly anymore, honestly.
Well, I know one person that can make the 6-pack into a chandelier if you really wanted to.
I sure could. I like to illuminate things.
That was one of my favorite things about the little projects he posts on Facebook and social media. And that's why I thought it was intentional. I really thought.
I'll be right back. Stay right there, guys. Don't go anywhere. Don't change the channel.
I'm still talking, but I literally thought that was intentional for social media reasons. Then I started realizing, no, and he just loves what he's doing. Like that's the truth, dude. I literally figured that out. I thought it was like a tactic. You got it?
Yeah. Just all tangled up in you in this conversation.
I'm sorry, I was just thinking about a Doors thing. Come on, baby, light my fire.
So, not going to try to advertise in your spot.
You definitely should.
Check this out. I think it's old lantern from, I don't know, somewhere. I think probably just a yard sale or a thrift store or who knows. But it's been sitting in my shop, and it took just a few minutes, made it into a lamp. So I've got filled with copper pennies for the viewers at home.
FYI, Ricky Williams is the reason for the coin shortage.
Yeah, this is my fault. My bad. There's all the 2019 pennies right there for you. But no, I put an Edison bulb in it. And I think of my lamps that I build as...
Dude, you've always been intrigued by lights. I've noticed that.
100%.
Like LEDs. Dude, you got more LEDs than freaking any rock star I know. You have more LED lights at projects.
I'll be right back. These are my old DJ lights.
Hold on a sec. We're gonna do this. Panoramic. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum.
So I can change the atmosphere in my own shop. I have my own party.
Dude, I'm gonna hire him to do big shows with me to do the lighting. Nothing else. You're just gonna be focused on lighting. Sound like a plan? We're gonna book a big freaking something. I don't even care what it is. I'm gonna book it as nothing more than just to have Ricky Williams lighting. He's gonna give me.
I've got stacks of floodlights and flush lights and wash lights and.
Want to watch him cringe? Want to know?
Hey, welcome back. We're here with Rick and Harley Miller.
This episode brought to you by Ricky Williams Lighting.
So there's an Edison bulb in here. I took and put some ceramic parts and pieces, which I'll probably paint that copper or gold.
You used a flame light in one of these too, didn't you? The little flame.
I'll be right back.
I love this guy. I'm literally going to do a montage of you saying I'll be right back. I'm not going to lie. Oh, the gas can. I love this. Dude, I love this project. This is a cool project.
So this one was my personal favorite. Somebody just gave me one of these.
That's an old gas can, dude.
It's an old jerry can you find on an old Jeep if you're a Jeep kind of guy, which I am not, so I don't know why I have it. But I'll be right back.
This montage is going to be amazing. Like, literally, it's going to start with me saying, I want to make a montage of you saying, I'll be right back. And it's going to see you saying, I'll be right back.
Just one doesn't work as well. No, but this one has the
I like this. Dude. This is a cool
flickering
project.
flame.
Let me stand down a little bit. Put her down. Dude, I like
Isn't that neato? Oh, it's gonna fall. Oh, it's gonna fall.
I'll let it go.
Oh, look, we can turn them all on.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, you can just probably sit here and just sell this crap on Etsy or freaking Pinterest or whatever. What do they sell shit now?
I don't know. Everywhere.
Everywhere. The internet.
Facebook Marketplace.
The interwebs.
The on the line.
I don't like selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Just like people are shady. Like they just they say they're interested and they don't show up.
The one thing I am looking for, viewers, I need a big old stoplight that I can put programming into and have it change red light, green light, yellow light.
You know, one of the really old hanging
The
ones.
old ones, like
the
the
old ones,
50s.
like the ones you see, like the only place you can find them now is those small towns in Nebraska.
That one.
Yeah, those ones.
If you live in Nebraska, steal your stoplight and mail it to me. 531. No, I'm just kidding. Stick in a little envelope, some weed money, marked Ricky Bobby.
Oh god, that'd be funny if someone said, "I got one. I'll send you one."
That'd be
Probably
awesome. That would be
probably
phenomenal.
happen,
That's how I
actually.
got this table. Dude. I'm not going to be right back. I'm going to just do this. Somebody was going to throw this barrel
Jack Daniels.
in the trash. It's a literal.
Why? Why would they throw that away? You know how much they sell this for?
Oh crap! I'm bald. Never going to that hairstylist again. Wait, that was me.
This episode brought to you by Cue Ball Barber.
Cue ball.
How many sponsors do
Sure.
we have for this show?
Turn the lights off. Man, you're wasting electricity. If you guys want to buy one of these, let me know. I think they're like $60 or $80, depending on
Depending on your
model
wallet.
and
Depending on your wallet.
depending on how much you want to spend. Tell me your budget, and I'll let you know if it's within it.
Oh god.
Probably.
Who do you think I should do on the show? Who else do you think I should have on the show? I was already talking to Zach Gibson. I was thinking about.
That's a good candidate. Zach, get in here, man.
You got to do it.
Just chill.
By the way, taking a poll right now. Should Zach Gibson bullshit with me while drinking beer?
Can I join?
Yes.
How about a Ricky Bobby Fireball Harley show? How about that? That'd be. If you wanted rude, crude, and full of dudes, that's the topic right
It'd be
there.
called Unfiltered and
Unfiltered Pilsners. Wait, that's what we're drinking.
$20 an episode. You gotta pay to get in.
I need $8 and a picture ID for you watching this show.
Come to our OnlyFans. So,
We need to think of something like that for dudes. I mean, all these girls in 2020 became only fans, and I'm only lonely still. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Did you know that you have to give them money?
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Wait, what?
Is that only fans? That's only
money.
It's only extortion.
That's only prostitution. They should be charged for that. Are they paying taxes on this or what?
By the way, I respect all sex workers. I don't care what you do because the hustle is what matters.
Single mom needs love too, man. Single moms with kids need love too. And if you're out there to support single moms, you do that. And I support you.
You don't have to be lonely on fansonly.com.
I thought that was farmers only.
OnlyFans. Yeah, but farmers only, they always want you to freaking pick.
You can't be a man on onlyfan.com.
Like, is there even a freaking. We need to come up with a catchphrase for it.
Is there a dude site where we could be like, you like dad bods? I got one for you.
Dad bods and hot rods, that could be your show.
That could be my show. I don't have any hot rods in here though. That sucks.
Dad bods and not hot rods.
Dad bods and no rods. Wait.
Oh.
No, wait, no.
No.
That sounds like a female show again. That could be offensive.
It could be.
Dadbods and hotrods.com. You didn't do the reverse thing again.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
I understand that.
You always caught up.
Fully.
You're always 10 steps ahead of me. Or behind me, depending on whether you're going forward or backward. I don't know.
I'm the backwards man.
Oh,
I can walk backwards faster than you can.
Forget the first half of this. The first half hour, I'm not going to post. I'm just going to post the second half hour. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Oh, I can show you one more lamp. You guys at home want to see one more lamp?
I'm laughing you tripped over your own cord.
Would that be one accord?
Dun dun dun.
Dad jokes.
Favorite dad joke? Go. Do you even have a favorite?
I don't even have a favorite. They're all, they're all my favorites, man.
This is a spontaneous thing that you come up with. You're like, yep, it's worth saying. Dude, I told you.
I tell you a joke about pizza, but it's too cheesy.
I lost my pizza cutter, so I used my Brian Adams. Or what was it? Oh, crap.
Brian Adams, come on.
He cut like a knife.
Cut like a knife. So I make these ones too. These are cool.
I
This is
just completely slaughtered the joke that I posted
Old-
like a week ago.
old lantern.
I like the lantern joke. Those ones were really
So instead
cool.
of having a gas or an oil in it, it's now just electric.
Which is cool because it means you won't burn your house down.
But it doesn't work if your house power goes
The
out.
doors don't like it though.
The doors don't like it.
Yeah, because it doesn't light the fire.
Ha! Ha!
Yes! I got one. I said it earlier too, though. I did a doors joke earlier. So I don't know if it counts if you do it twice in a row. Or maybe it's twice as good. I don't know. Dad jokes. God.
No, I think about these, like, if we're going to get back on topic here, now that we've taken a little stroll up the park lane. The idea of these lamps, and the reason why I like lighting up the world is it's because it's like my personality. I think that if I can bring light into one person's life, that makes this all worth it. One single light can change the way that didn't even work. I'm dim. I'm dull.
You
I'm
unplugged
out.
it. You unplugged it, dude.
You gotta have power too if you're gonna, and when you light up somebody's life, you have power. And if that's not cheesy,
I'm just gonna send this.
I have
I'm gonna send
no
this whole thing
idea.
to you so you can just post it at random and just tag me in it.
I have no idea what power is. The jerry can is actually one of my favorites, to be honest with you.
I like this. I like these ones. Didn't you do a few of these ones?
I did 100 of them. I still have some to do.
How many did you sell?
All of them.
That's
They're all by
exactly what
order. I still have
You
like.
want to like
I
this
got a
one?
table over
It's
there.
small, simple, and it works. It'd be a perfect porch light. It just would. It'd be outdoor friendly.
Should be.
Yeah, it looks like it would
It's
be.
also a nice little night light, like an intake.
I like those. I remember Snapchat. I think you started posting those on Snapchat first, didn't you?
I did.
I remember seeing that when you first put them on Snapchat. I was like, that's fucking cool. I remember thinking that.
Hey,
that's the first thing I
this
remember.
is a G-rated show, pal. Beep. Put that in there. Edit your effing word. Poopy mouth. This is the dad episode.
That's cool. I can't beep.
This guy. I can't take him anywhere.
Did I mention these are? I'm at your place. We didn't go anywhere.
Crap. I can't bring him anywhere.
I can't invite him anywhere.
This one's, I gotta say, my best attraction for myself.
You have a hard time
Flickering
finding
flame.
these. I'm finding the actual.
The downfall is people want so much money for these because they're antique now. So when you buy them with the idea that I'm trying to sell them, I'm not making a much.
Not a lot of profit. You have to ask so much money, but you're not making a ton of profit off of them.
I do them for fun. Yeah. So when I'm selling them for $80, I'm honestly in them about 98% of that because I have to go get the parts. I've got to take the time to cut them, clean them. These things come into me looking like
You have to clean it
a
up.
wreck.
You want it to look nice, but you want it to be vintage.
I want to look original too, so I've got to get all the cobwebs and the crap out of them.
But you couldn't find a way to make them yourself. Yeah, it's almost better to have them.
I can buy them new, but it's the same price, if not more, to buy a brand new old one. But it doesn't give you the rustic feel of
You
an
want the
old
rustic,
one.
yeah. the
Yeah,
different-
this
it's
feels
a different thing. Yeah.
cool. This isn't new, and people want
I'd say-
upcycle. That's where we're at now. Everybody wants the
thing.
upcycle.
The other thing that's really cool is you could raise your price, but you choose not to because you want to make more of them. That's one thing I like about it. That's one thing about you that's freaking. It's more of a. It's not that it isn't that you want to make it a business venture, but like you said, you feel almost guilty asking so much money.
Right.
Like you almost feel guilty about it. But the reality is, you could probably ask for 150 easy and not even think twice about it. But you just don't feel right doing that.
And I heard a story once that this lady made purses out of some sort of random material, and she didn't sell any at the price she had. And some businessman bought one and said, "Hey, you're not charging enough." And she said, "I'm not making enough, and I can't charge more because nobody's buying them." So he said, why don't you sell them for triple what you're asking for them? People will see value in it then. And I was like, that ain't real. Sure as crap, man. She started selling triple what she was doing because she was afraid of her own worth. But everybody else saw what she had.
I remember this. You're actually the one that. Oh no, you weren't the first time I booked a gig for a high price, but you're one of the first people that really got me to really think about the price I was charging for like bigger parties. Because I have such a bar gig. Bar gigs, you know this. They don't charge. You can't charge.
$200 a night. You know. I'm not giving out any secrets. It's 200 flat.
250 for me is kind of.
Yeah, so it's gone up $50. In 10 years, it's gone up $50. That's not.
You're not gonna be a millionaire playing bar gigs.
Not at all.
No. I mean, it's great steady money. Don't get me wrong.
It's fun.
But you're not gonna be you're not gonna make great bucks. I mean, like my bar gigs, I make about $39,000 a year, which is good money. Don't get me wrong. It's an income. It's really good. I'm doing all right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not doing bad. Part of that's because I hire people and I do the whole. I have a couple guys that work for me here and there.
Right.
And don't get me wrong. And that's before expenses. So don't get me wrong. I'm not making great money. That's still not great money. Even before expenses, that's not great money.
That's still poverty.
That's still. Musician-wise, that's actually pretty good.
I can be honest with that, yeah.
But
you're still below your means.
And then the thing is, I've always only booked, and I've always kind of cut myself off at 10 weddings. I don't know why. I just always have. And the reason why is because I don't enjoy them as much.
Right.
But I always knew I needed that extra money.
Right.
I needed the extra income. But you're like before I was doing weddings at like $400 or $500. I remember you were the one that told me like, "What are you doing?" You said that to me once. I remember you said that. What are you doing? Like, dude, you're worth way more than $400 for a wedding.
Right.
Like, dude, you're
known. And I'm the same as you. I always put a cap on it so I didn't feel guilty charging X amount. But if you look at how much time you have invested in it, meeting with the bride and groom, doing the paper trail, doing the taxes on it at the end of the year, doing your product and your upgrades and your cost and your when I had my DJ stuff, I have OCD, so it all has to go back in the trailer, but I had brand new JBLs, I had power subwoofers, I had everything that would make the show a badass show. And I'd have lighting, I would have myself, I would have microphones, and I have to make sure all of that works. So you're not just buying a cheap product, you're actually out doing the research, you're spending time on the computer.
People get so freaking stupid about this. Oh, I can get my friend to do it on their iPhones. Like, then do that. But the reality is, we're not just there. We're also directing traffic. That's the part they don't get. Like, that's why you hire DJs. Like, you're also directing traffic.
You're the host.
You're helping keep things running.
Yeah.
They're the show. You're the host. That's how I always looked at weddings. Like,
100%.
The bride and the groom, the whole bridal party really is the show. And I used to have
You're there to make it so that they can walk in, sit down, and enjoy their night.
And
if
nobody,
they don't do that, you failed
out.
As the DJ.
Yeah, exactly.
You failed as the host. You failed as the entertainer. Whatever you want to categorize yourself.
It's tough. I always have a harder time.
But you should learn from that. You shouldn't stop. You should look at that and go, what can I do on the next show that would make it better?
Exactly.
You should always look at how can I be funnier? What can I do different?
Did you ever feel like getting
when do I got to shut up?
Did you
when can I speak?
Did you ever feel like getting simpler actually brought more value? Like, I used to try to make everything so over the top, and then I started realizing, like, as you started bringing it back, almost found that it brought more value because it's all of a sudden there's less pressure, there's less people.
I honestly, and this is me being factual, I always had an actual show. I would go in and I would have a playlist that when I met with my bride and groom, I would say, I like to do the intros, then we'll do prayer if you have one.
Oh, schedule, definitely. With weddings especially,
toast.
You need a schedule. Oh,
God.
God.
Prayer, dinner, toast.
I learned that the hard way. Because the problem is, if you try to leave it if you try to leave it free flowing like a bar gig,
it's like trying to herd cats, man.
You can't do it. Happen. So literally, I got to the point. The only change I had to make, flat out, the only change I had to make was have the bride and groom put down a timeline. What time do you want to do this? What time before the wedding? Because what happens, they're talking to grandma. I feel bad interrupting.
Right.
Like, so now it's like, hey, just so you know, it's
7:30.
It's 7:30. We need to do this. Are you ready to do it? Don't get me wrong. I wasn't strict about it.
Hey, get over here.
But it gave me the permission.
Correct.
To interrupt them while they're talking to their family. Mm-hmm. And if you're a DJ looking to do stuff, that's actually one of the biggest things I would say. Like, one, schedule everything.
Get organized.
Schedule everything.
Make an itinerary.
The nice thing is, like, the thing for me is, like, I always, like, schedule everything and I look forward to that last part. It's just the fuck off part. I don't know what you
Watch your language again, poopy mouth.
Beep off part. my show. God damn it, I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Kids, don't do this at home.
But you know what I mean? Like the end part, like after everything's all done.
When you can kind of put the computer on cruise control and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, when I get to
just
perform.
relax.
Because literally like 90% of the night, unless they are huge fans of me, I don't get to sing much. I don't get to
fans
do
on
much.
OnlyFans.
I got some.
You got
you got a
OnlyFans?
ton of fans. I don't have any OnlyFans.
Fan only?
No, I don't take enough polls off for OnlyFans. Trust me. There's at least a couple of men and women and everyone that's trying to get me to start one. Not gonna happen. Not gonna. Sorry.
If you want to see Harley start an OnlyFans page, comment
Alan,
below.
shut up. You know who I'm talking about. There's a guy named Alan. He just keeps telling me to take my shirt off. Love him, but he's love him to death. But no, dude, you just calm down a little bit.
I can do my Matthew McConaughey impression right now. Girls like it when we take your shirts off. All right.
Every post, like take your shirt off. Like, dude, come on. I get it, but come on. I love Alan.
Free the nip.
I met him at a wedding I played years ago. I think it was, which wedding was it? Oh God, no, I can't remember which wedding it was. Friggin', I met him at a wedding years ago. He was here in town. He lives in Florida. He's been like one of the greatest fans I've ever had. But friggin' every other post, because I used to post shirtless pictures all the time. And I just kind of got off of that because, you know, it is kind of voodoo, whatever. I'm getting back on it again, I'm not going to lie.
Don't do it.
I just don't give a shit. Like,
I will unfriend you every shirt picture you take off.
Yes. There's a bunch of them now. What the heck are you talking? You should have unfriended me already.
I deleted all those.
Dude, the last ad I put out was me like just holding my shirt open and just showed like it just showed down the shirt. I don't know if you saw that one.
I saw that one.
Okay, my cousin commented on it and said something to the extent of bad way to advertise, cuz like from the person sitting on their couch who always wanted a music career but never did it. It's like, I'm sorry, but it's working.
That's like trying to coach from the couch.
It's like, what the hell?
I'm mad at the Packers because they didn't win the Super Bowl. Were you a part of the Super Bowl?
By the way, Jess, I love you to death, and actually I understand and have empathy for everywhere you came from, just in case she sees this. I don't think she watches my videos that much, though. But if she does, I just want you to know I love you, and I understand. I really do. But when you go, like, I've always, like, me and Jerry talked about this, like, when you go more niche, you find more depth. It's weird. I don't know how to put it.
We're almost at 33 again. That was quick.
Dude,
that was quicker in the jazz talk than it was on the first talk.
There was a lot of I'll be right backs. Last talk.
I won't be right back.
I'm gonna do a montage of
this is the last episode for now.
There's gonna be I'm gonna make one. I suck at editing, but I'm gonna figure it the fuck out just for that.
God. Trying to keep this show rated PG for everybody, but this guy
fucks it up.
Oh my God.
I'm posting that clip just so you know.
This is gonna be a meme.
I'm trying to get this PJ because of this guy. Yeah, he keeps fucking it up. It's gonna be.
That should look like I'm saying it.
Make it look like I'm literally gonna like edit it to the audio on me saying "fucked up" is on your lips
on
are
my
moving.
Over my head with a little cloud.
It'll happen.
Well, great. Well, we're about out of time, ladies and gentlemen.
Again.
Round 2. Yeah.
We have one beer left.
I got one beer left, and I'm not driving, so I'll probably drink it.
Yeah, I think you're drinking it.
We're gonna have to play responsible. Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you're not drinking responsibly, don't drink.
Also, Blue Lives Matter. Just to piss people off.
Well, you gotta do something like that. What a cute little six-pack. Oh.
Isn't it weird seeing it coming out of a big box with 24?
Right?
I didn't know they came that way.
It's cute.
It's like adorable.
There's a lid for you.
I'm gonna stop this. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
Don't say fuck.
Oh my God.